All right. Well, Cam West, Tri-Valley Scotties, joining us here on Shot Collars with Storied Rival Sports Media. Thanks for hopping on today, Coach. I always appreciate talking to you and your time, man. And I know that this summer is probably been a little weird, sad, chaotic, for you and everything that's gone on recently. And first, I just want to say again that I'm sorry for the loss of your coaching colleague, and I know someone who was a dear friend, and Josh Wright, who just recently took over for you. And I know you were just starting your family vacation when you got the news of his passing, and I just wanted to give you the floor to talk about your relationship with Josh, because I know you played for him, back in the day, under him and Coach Buttermore, and that was when you were at the peak of your powers, and then he becomes the OC on your staff, takes over for you, and it's probably fair to say that you don't become the player that you became without Coach Wright, and you don't become the person and coach that you are now without him as well. And so I wanted to give you the floor to talk about your relationship.
Yeah, obviously, our relationship goes back a long time. I met Coach Wright in 2004. I was a young freshman at Tri Valley High School, and Coach Wright and Coach Buttermore and Coach Cameron actually came in, and Coach Buttermore obviously took over the program, and Coach Wright was the offensive coordinator, and we stunk. The first year, I think we were 3-7. We actually went 3-0. The first three games, we were on top of the world, and then reality set in, and we lost seven straight. That first year, the next year we were 4-6. Made a little bit of progress, and then it kind of took off our junior year, and we never looked back. So I've known Josh for a long time, and just a couple things about Josh. As good as a football coach as he was a better person. He was just a guy that you could call with anything at any time of the day or night, and he would be there. And uh, he's just a great friend and a great person. And I know he impacted a lot of kids' lives. And in his short time here at Tri Valley, obviously he was here for 4 years in 2004, but coming back this year and being a teacher, man, um, he impacted so many kids just in 1 year at Tri Valley. We had a bunch of not just football players, but students in the school that absolutely loved Coach Wright and just loved him as a teacher and as a person. And he was the guy standing outside his door saying hi to everyone every single morning. He had music blaring before school. I mean, he was just the guy that everyone wanted to be around. Um, like you said, it's been a difficult summer in terms of the change that we had in May with me stepping down as the head coach and Josh taking over the program. And then obviously his unfortunate passing in late June. So there's been a lot of change for our kids, and our kids have handled it really well, to be honest with you. And we have a lot of support. Obviously, we have a lot of community support, but the number of people that reached out to me um, in the coaching world. And it just shows you how awesome our league is. I've talked to almost every single one of the every single coach in the league, and they're asking me what can they do. We were at a 7-on-7 at Lancaster last week, and their coaches came up to me and asked me if they could provide meals or what they could do. So the coaching community it's a tight knit community, and losing a coach it hits home for a lot of people. I think it put a lot of things in perspective for me this summer in terms of what's really important, and not taking anything for granted. I know there's obviously days that you kind of drag yourself to practice sometimes, especially in the summer when it's hot and you're in camp. But um, it, Josh loved football, and so for me to feel like I don't want to go to practice a day is kind of selfish in terms of he would give anything to obviously to be here and to be coaching these guys. And the last thing I'll say is kind of the most disappointing thing for me in terms of losing Josh was just how excited he was to be a head coach again. He was a head coach at Burn Union for a couple years after he left Tri Valley, and just the genuine excitement for him going into a year being the head man at Tri Valley. I think our first day of summer workouts, I think he got to the office at 2:30 in the morning because he couldn't sleep. He was just so excited, and he was just that guy, man. he's an early riser and always in the office and working on football, thinking about football. So losing him is a big loss. Not only we lose a great coach, a great person, but I lost a really good friend and someone that I looked up to be honest with you. So um, we're getting through. Having football and having the kids has made it easier on me and just being together and leaning on each other. But it's been a difficult summer.
Yeah, thank you for sharing all of that, man. Did he ever drag you into the office at 2:30 in the morning?
Not me. I was talking to Coach Buttermore, and it was funny. Like I would always try to beat him in the office because I was the head coach. Like I wanted to be the first one there. I
Sure.
I could not do it. Like I as early as I could get there, I could not. He would just he would just beat me in every time. So, I mean that's just the kind of guy he was. You try to beat him in the office, you couldn't do it. He'd already been there for an hour and had the entire practice scripted and everything done. So, never could beat him in the office.
What was the earliest you ever got there?
Shoot, I tried to get there at I think 5 one day, which we didn't even start till 8. Um,
Right.
and he had been there since 4:15. He
That's
said
on
so.
that's unreal.
After that, I just gave up. I just stopped trying. So
That's funny. Do the kids, and I guess, and you talked about it a little bit, but do the kids kind of have a renewed sense of love, for the game, after, something like this? I know you said that they're rallying around each other and around you, and you guys have each other's support and everything, but is their love for the game, like, can you tell that, because of an event like this and how it's impacted them, like, do you just sense like a different energy and a different drive when they come to practice every day now?
yeah, I do. I mean, in terms of a big life event, and it's crazy to think about. But when we were going through the funeral and everything, I'm watching like a bunch of our kids went, and potentially that was the first funeral they'd ever been to, unless they lost their grandparents or anything like that. But I think it has kind of renewed our kids in terms of doing things that are hard and not complaining about it because that's what Josh would want us to do. So we've seen a little bit a level of intensity has went up. So it's been like I said, it's been a trying summer, but it's been good to be around the guys.
And I know you got, the chance to coach in that All-Star game. We talked, about a month or so ago, prior to that game, and obviously I'm sure you're going to look fondly on that game as the last game that you got to coach with some of those kids, but then also with Josh and your, some of that staff as well. But you had guys like Max and Jayden Wallace, Keaton Hahn, Cade Heindel, Chris Gargasz, Ashton Winter, Gavin Spiker. Hopefully I didn't leave anybody off, but they were all on the roster in that game, and they obviously played massive roles in winning multiple big school division championships in the MVL. Went 10-0 in the regular season last year. I mean, what will you miss about those guys?
Yeah, I mean, just talking about the All Star game real quick, and then we'll get to those guys. It's amazing. We said at the end of year meeting with all the NVL coaches, and kind of the All Star game's not a sore subject because it's fun, it's football, but it's also summer, and we're coaching our team, so it's kind of like who wants to do it, you know? And this year it's amazing that we were sitting there and no one was kind of volunteering to do it, and I just happened to look at Dirk, Philo's coach, and he kind of whispered to me like, "Hey, if you do it, we'll help." And I said, okay. And it's just amazing that Josh, in his last football game that he got to coach with Tri Valley staff, and
Yeah,
he knows all of us, and he got to coach with Dirk and a few Philo guys, got to coach Philo kids, Tri Valley kids. So it's something that at the time when I accepted it, and Josh would razz me all the time about accepting to coach the All Star game because once again it's summer and it makes for long days, but it's something that I'll never regret doing in terms of his last game getting to coach with Philo guys and Tri Valley guys, and I'm so thankful that we got to do it and got to go through one last um, game plan with them and one last. We rode to the game together. Me and Josh and Coach McGee rode to the game together and rode home together. So that was something I'll never regret. But talking about our guys in the game, obviously getting to coach them one more time was fun too. And I know Josh loved it, and um, they were great players and great kids. And the funny thing is, man, those kids are around us. around almost every day this summer. I've seen those guys a bunch. A lot of them are going to play college football, so they've been working out, hanging out. And I've joked, Max Lyall's turned into kind of one of our coaches. He's like in our coach's office all the time. He has got clothes everywhere in our coach's office. So he's kind of turned into a coach for us. But it's great seeing those guys and being around them and having a relationship with them. And I wish them nothing but the best in the future.
So who takes over for Max this year then? And obviously you're losing a lot of just experience in general. I think along with those guys, you have 11 other seniors. I think were on the team last year. So you lose 18 seniors to graduation. I mean, how young is the team this year? Who steps in at quarterback and things? And obviously, I know Ryan LaMonica is one of your big pieces that comes back. But I mean, you lose a lot of experience in a lot of key areas.
Yeah, we do, but uh, the guys that we're going to fill those spots with they're good football players. In terms of quarterback, Stone Spiker, who is Gavin Spiker's little brother, is going to be the quarterback. And he's had a great summer. Stone's got a really strong arm. He's smart. He's good in the weight room. He's going to be a sophomore, so we're going to go through some growing pains in terms of he's a sophomore, and we went through the same thing with Max as well. So we're really looking forward to the progress that he's going to make over the next 3 years. Um, at running back, we have a senior and a sophomore that are kind of battling, and up front will be kind of raw, but really good football players. I know kind of the mo around the area is this is kind of the year to knock off Tri Valley and losing all those guys, and I welcome that. And we're excited, and that's kind of playing into our message for the kids this year that no one's given us a shot to win any games. No one's given us a shot to win the MVL, but we're just going to keep doing what we do and kind of plug and play kids that we have. And to be honest, we're in camp right now, and it's been fantastic. Our kids are practicing really hard. It's a group of kids who haven't got to play a bunch of varsity football, and you can tell by the way they're practicing. Like they're hungry to get on the field. They're hungry to earn spots. And it's been a really fun group to coach so far.
Now, how difficult is it to you said you're up front, you're a little raw, but you've got talented football players. How difficult is it to get a younger group like that to gel? Because the offensive line, it's one of those position groups where everybody's got to gel in order to be successful. How difficult and challenging and fun has that been to try to develop this summer?
Yeah, O line's a different beast because, like you said, gelling is a huge part. And when you don't exactly know your five starting offensive linemen, you're kind of going through a rotation during practice. So it is hard for those five who are eventually going to start to gel together. Um, so kind of our approach during camp is we're playing probably eight guys who potentially could play on Friday night. And as we get closer to week one, we'll start to kind of solidify those five. But like I said, I think we have eight guys up front who are varsity guys, and that's good. We're gonna, like I said, be raw and have some kids who haven't played a ton of football, but that's the beauty of coaching, and I think the biggest thing that going into this year is our growth potential is immense. We're kind of um, like I said, a bunch of kids who haven't played, so our ability to grow from week one to week 10 is going to be it's a great amount of growth that we can have. So and those groups are fun to coach, and like I said, the kids have been really fun so far, and we've gotten better even over the last week. So I'm anxious to see where we're at week 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll look like a completely different team by then.
What's on the schedule over the next, 3, 4, 5 weeks? I mean, week one, whether we wanted to be here is, or not, it's fast approaching. It kind of doesn't seem real sometimes. I mean, what's up like over the next month or so, scrimmages wise, 7-on-7s wise? I know you've done a couple of those already. Just as you get ready and you start to see some competition to get a true sense of where your football team is at, physically and mentally.
Yeah, we're done with 7-on-7s now. We have camp the rest of this week, and then we're taking 4 days off next week. We'll start August 1st, obviously, like everyone else, with
Sure.
2 days and things. Uh, our first scrimmage is, I believe, the 9th, that Saturday, which is everyone's first scrimmage day. We're going to West Holmes, which is always a good competition. They spread us out. They're in a lot of empty sets and they sling the ball around. So that'll be a good one for our defensive backs, especially. And then we follow up the following Thursday. We are at home against Watkins, who I mean, they have a wide receiver going to Ohio State, and they're big. They have 120 players. I mean, it's a bigger school. They always have big kids, really good skilled kids. So the competition is going to be there, and obviously in practice, there's going to be a ton of competition for spots. So we
Hmm.
have a couple guys at about 10 different spots who I'm not sure who's going to start yet. So that's going to be fun to see that competition in practice over the next month or so.
With your roster makeup, are you going to have a lot of guys playing both sides of the ball? I know, like in an ideal world, you'd love to have 22 separate starters and everything, but obviously, the reality of high school football, unless you're some really big school somewhere, you just don't have that. I mean, I guess, with the size of your roster, the experience you have, young guys stepping up, like, what does it look like as far as guys playing both sides of the ball?
Yeah, we've always kind of went along the idea of we've got to get our 11 best kids on the field, and if that's offense and defense, that's what we're going to do. Over the past few years, if our quarterback doesn't have to play defense, that's a good thing for us.
Sure.
And it doesn't look like our quarterback's going to have to play defense this year, which is good, especially for a young quarterback. But we'll have a bunch of kids playing both ways. We try to get our 11 best on the field at all times and kind of rotate as needed. So our roster, we'll have about 70 kids, which I think's kind of our sweet spot, 9 through 12. I know a lot of guys have 100, 120, which is really good numbers, but it's just hard to play all of those kids and get them in, even varsity, JV, and freshmen. So
Right.
right at 70 is kind of the sweet spot it's been for us since I've been here. So that's where we're at now.
That's exciting, man. It sounds like you've got a young group that, and like you said, the growth potential over the next, not only this year, but the next couple years is, like you said, immense. I think that's a great word to use. And I appreciate you just sharing, some of the emotion that you've experienced over the last month or so, man. And I know it's been a chaotic and weird and sad summer in a lot of ways, but um, I know that the season's going to be really exciting for you and your program and everything. So thanks for hopping on, talking some football for, 15 minutes or so, man. And looking forward to talking to you more as the season draws closer and throughout the year.
Yep, no problem. I appreciate you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.